Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st, 2nd Samuel, 1st, 2nd Kings, and 1st, 2nd Quran, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalm, Proverb, Ecclesia, Song, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamenta, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amo, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi 39, Old Testament. Are you ready to survey the Old Testament? Yes. 5, 12, 5, 5, 12. All in all, 39 books in the Old Testament. Introduction to the Pentateuch. What is the Pentateuch? 5 books of Moses' law. Yan. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. The Old Testament chronicles are the creation of man and institution and development of Israel as the nation of God. Although man was created perfect, he despised God's will and rebelled by sinning. The rest of Scripture records the selfless efforts of God to restore man to his potential. The story of this relationship of God with man begins in the first 5 books of the Old Testament called Pentateuch. The term Pentateuch is originated from 2 Greek words, penta, meaning 5, and tukos, meaning volume or scroll or books. It means 5 scrolls or 5 volumes of book. It refers to the first 5 books of the Old Testament written by Moses. We call Moses' law, the books of law. Genesis through Deuteronomy transports us through centuries of God's program by recording primarily the creation, the fall, the flood, the Tower of Babel, the call of Abraham, the rise of the nation of Israel, the bondage in Egypt, the exodus from Egypt, the wilderness wanderings, and the preparations for re-entering the promised land. This story, however, is found in only 3 of the 5 books of the Pentateuch: Genesis, Exodus, Numbers. First, Genesis. The book of Genesis slices into 2 parts. Chapters 1 to 11 record 4 major events: the creation of man, the fall, the flood, Tower of Babel. Chapters 12 to 50 highlight 4 major men: Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Days of creation. So this picture is for class participation, messenger chat group or group chat. Number 2, Exodus. The book of Exodus depicts the nation of Israel in bondage in Egypt. God sovereignly chooses Moses to lead Israel out of bondage in Egypt, and he guides them on their journey back to the promised land. So Exodus major events. Number 3, Leviticus. The book of Leviticus is written immediately after the close of Exodus. It records primarily regulations governing the offerings of the priesthood and feast, which the nation was to observe annually. Yeah, this picture is for class participation. Number 4, Numbers. The book of Numbers depicts wandering of the children of Israel in the wilderness after refusal to enter the land at Kadesh Barnea. Barnea means oasis. At the end of this period of wandering, Moses leads them to the top of the sea. So Numbers background as you read. Number 5, Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy records the 3 sermons of Moses before his death. Moses preached top of the Dead Sea 3 long sermons. Number 1, Israel's history. Number 2, requirements of the law. Number 3, blessings and curses, warnings and encouragement, commissioning of Joshua. Moses turns the responsibility for leadership over to Joshua and dies. It is just like Leviticus. Deuteronomy does not advance the movement of the children of Israel toward the promised land. The Deuteronomy, second law, the Hebrew name, words. So book records Moses' last words to the people for new generation before entering the promised land. How do we observe the relationship between the book of the Pentateuch? They fit together like a hand and glove. Number 1, Genesis pictures the inception of the nation of Israel, beginning with the father Abraham. Number 2, Exodus portrays the redemption of the nation from bondage in Egypt under the leadership of Moses. Number 3, Leviticus describes fellowship that God desired to enjoy with his nation. It centers around the Levitical priesthood and series of offerings. The central figure in this picture is the high priest Aaron. Number 4, the book of Numbers records of God's testing of the nation Israel under the guidance of Moses. Number 5, Deuteronomy chronicles the reiteration of the law of God to the second generation of Israelites under the first Moses and Joshua. 5 books of Moses, keywords and theme. So this is also for class participation on Messenger group chat. So walk through the Pentateuch now. So Genesis from creation, 4, flood, nation, 4,000 years, Persian Gulf, Salt, Sarah, Abraham, Lot, Terah, Tigris, Euphrates, Haran, Paradise, Sea of Galilee, Jordan River, Dead Sea, Mediterranean, Israel, Ishmael, Isaac, Esau, Jacob, Joseph, Egypt, Jews, Egypt. It happened in Genesis. Now Exodus, 400 years, bondage, Moses, let my people go. No, 10 plagues, Passover, Red Sea. Mount Sinai, law, tabernacle, Levites and priests. And Leviticus, offerings and feast. And Numbers, counting the faces, Kadesh and Oasis, 12 spies, wonders, dies, Moab. And Deuteronomy, Moses, second law, dies. So, fill in the underline, highlight, okay? Adam to Abraham, beginnings. Begin Adam to Abraham, beginnings. So creation, 4, flood nation. Number 2, Abraham to Joseph. So patriarch. 4,000 years, Persian Gulf, Salt, Sarah, Abraham, Lot, Terah. And Tigris, Euphrates, Haran, Paradise. And Sea of Galilee, Jordan River. There's something like you already want to fill in and underline, okay? So map. Babylonia, Assyria, Israel, Egypt. Yeah. You see it now. So from then wandering because of their disobedience, worshipping idols, scattered Assyria and Judah, land of Judah, Israel scattered to Assyria, and Judah exiled to Babylon. After 70 years, they returned to Jerusalem. Yeah. So this is your class participation. So you should draw and then you put the geographical name. Wow. Class participation. So vocable from Pentateuch. Now, Genesis, prepared. Prepared. Abraham, Canaan, they came down to Canaan, and God revealed to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph. And Exodus, redeemed from Egypt by Passover. So Leviticus taught on the Mount Sinai the law, 10 commandments. Numbers tested but failed. So wandering, wilderness, and Kadesh and Oasis. And Deuteronomy is taught Moab, 3 sermons of Moses for the new generation before entering Promised Land, Canaan. So Joshua, so tested, passed Israel. So plus Joshua entered Jericho. So actually, Pentateuch is Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. And the next is history, Israel history, Joshua. So knowing and doing principle. Knowing what to do must be translated into doing what you know. So number 1, state is class participation. The most troublesome area in your work, your life, living with God, walk with God. Number 2, on the basis of above principle, how will you work on your most troublesome area? So essay. Okay, so Song of 39 books of Old Testament. You should memorize. Okay, it will be in your midterm. So I will let you do by recording video, video action, memorizing. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st, 2nd Samuel, 1st, 2nd Kings, and 1st, 2nd Chron, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalm, Proverbs, Ecclesia, Song, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamenta, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amo, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zechariah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, 39, Old Testament. Are you ready to survey the Old Testament? Yes. 5:12, 5:5:12. Acha. So 7:7 hand motion of walk through the Old Testament. It will be included in your final exam. Yeah. So, creation, fall, flood, nation, by action, hand motion. Yeah. 4,000 years, Persian Gulf, Saul, Sarah, Abraham, Lot, Terah. Tigris, Euphrates, Haran, Paradise. Sea of Galilee, Jordan River, Dead Sea, Mediterranean, Israel. Ishmael, Isaac, Esau, Jacob, Joseph, Egypt. Jews, Egypt, 400 years bondage. Moses, let my people go. No, 10 plagues, Passover, Red Sea, Mount Sinai, law, tabernacle, Levites and priests, offerings and feasts. Counting the faces, Kadesh and Oasis, 12 spies, wonders ties. Moab, Moses, second law ties. Joshua, Jordan, Jericho, divide, conquer, south, north, divide, settle. 12 tribes, Judges, 400 years, Deborah, Gideon, Samson. Everyone did what was right in their own eyes except Ruth and Samuel. United Kingdom, 120 years. Saul, no heart. David, whole heart. Solomon, half a heart. Divide the kingdom, 400 years. North, South, Israel, Judah, 19:20:08. Prophets speak. Shape up or ship out. Assyria, Israel, scatter. Babylonia, Judah, exile. 70 years. Persia, Judah, return. Zerubbabel, temple. Esther, queen. Ezra, people. Nehemiah, words. 400 years. Silent Christ. So assignment for next week, I will give it to you later on through messenger group chat or messenger chat group. Bye. Peace be with you. Shalom.